Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Earthbound Ancient Cave Tournament Quarterfinals. Our second match of the quarterfinals. Number 4 seed RaikouRider versus number 5 seed tsjonte. I'm Chaz, aka Stochastic. I'm here on commentary for you today, along with Leslie Pro.
Hi guys, good evening, and this is 4 and the 5.
We've got Temple doing our restream tonight, thanks to him. These runners are getting ready. I've got an interesting seed for you tonight. I've taken a little glance at the spoiler file. I'm pretty interested to see how this one will go. So we can go ahead and jump right into this, Temple. You can tell our runners they are ready to get underway whenever they are ready. You can already see Raikou going with Team Dragons. Thomas, that's tsjonte on the right, with his Mega Man Chu, Tessie, and Laika. That's a good crew. All right, looks like we are underway. So as always, if you're not familiar with the Ancient Cave, we've ripped Earthbound apart, put it into a randomizer, taken out all of the story elements, and turned it into a 9-floor dungeon. Our two runners will be seeking to walk to Gygus at the end of the dungeon and beat him, and whoever gets that done first will win this first round of the tournament. This is a double elimination tournament, so the loser here won't be out right away, but you definitely want to start off with a win here in the first round. So on the first floor, runners are mainly going to be looking for any skip granting items they can get. There are a number of skips that might take you past certain floors. You can skip up to 5 floors away. So a skip from here on floor 1 might take someone to floor 3 or 4 or 5, maybe even 6. If they have to walk all the way through all 9 floors, that's obviously going to take a lot longer time. So they're going to be looking for some skip granting items. They'll be looking for the skips themselves, maybe some good early equipment that shows up. Thomas hitting up the vendor here in Threed. Sees a super bomb. Doesn't have any cash for it yet, of course.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's too early for any cash for that. Now, we did see Thomas find Pink Cloud. There is 1 free heal per floor, so our runners can utilize that if they so choose and or is necessary to get back in the game.
Right, 1 guaranteed free heal. Oh, there's an early Spectrum Beam that Raikou finds. That's going to help out with the offense here on the first floor. That's going to 3 weapons in that room, actually: Fry Pan, T-Ball Bat, and Spectrum Beam. That's especially the Spectrum Beam is going to help out, basically make all of these enemies on the first 1 or 2 floors a cakewalk. Got Dungeon Man here on floor 1. There's a lot of gifts in Dungeon Man, so sometimes you want to see it on a later floor to get the more higher tier gifts. The gift boxes increase in value as you get deeper into the dungeon. So when you find these rooms with lots of gift boxes on the first floor, of course everything's randomized, so there's a chance you could have something really good. But in general, here on floor 1, they're going to be less good items. There's nothing too exciting happening yet. I say the biggest difference between these runners right now is Raikou finding that Spectrum Beam, and Thomas so far has not. It may make a difference, it may not. We'll have to see.
Oh, there's one of the warps.
Yeah, that's one of the free skips, having the ruler, because Jeff starts with the ruler. You can use that skip right away. So Thomas is off of floor 1. He is somewhere. We don't know where he is. There is a Hintman in Northern Scraba, so he can walk down to the Hintmans down by the pyramids and find out exactly what floor he's on. Could be floor 3, could be all the way to floor 6, potentially. picks up a fresh egg. He's going to be able to turn that into a chicken and release it to make sure his run is valid. Very important.
He picked up 2, though. 1 for this particular war.
Oh yeah, there was the fresh egg skip in the same room. That's good memory. So both of those are skips off of floor 1. Oh, and they both have a hitman on them. So he'll be able to, if he wants, he can go to the hitman room, the hitman off of both of these skips and find out where both of these skips go to. I don't know who our audio is on. I don't know if that's the same audio as the previous skip. The floors do have floor-specific audio, so if he heard that this has the same audio as the floor he was previously on, he'd know they were the same. If he heard that there are different audios, he'd know that they were different. Oh, he skipped past that really fast. I didn't see what floor that said.
Same here, but we've got Master Barf on floor 8. Now that's going to be very helpful for our runners, because if they do beat Master Barf, that counts as an auto Star Master, as Pooh will get Star Storm at the conclusion of that fight.
Yep, it's definitely, that was about as easy a boss list as you can hope for. I think the only challenging thing there was maybe Hydrant on 2, and of course Thomas is skipping past floor 2, we know that much. So I did take a look at the spoiler for this seed, and I can tell you that Northern Scaraba skip, that's a skip onto floor 5. This skip into Summers, this is a skip onto floor 6. And he's still on the floor 6 skip right now, so that is a big skip. Raikou's fighting a sentry robot. He must not be on floor 1 either, because those don't show up on floor 1.
They do, so I have seen these in scripted situations before, and unfortunately for Raikou, the big bottle rocket failed, so now it comes down to what other solutions do you have? And yes, mirroring is a possible solution, but at that point, it's up to RNG.
Yeah, it looks like he's just going to try and auto-fight it. Thomas taking a reset there. I didn't quite see why. But those rooms with the scripted enemies on it should not show up on floor 1 unless something has gone wrong in the maze generation. So we'll take a look, see what happens with Raikou.
That for a baseball cap, I wouldn't call that worth it. He's in 3,
No.
so might be.
Oh, I guess, okay, that room with the present in it, that actually is the one room with a scripted encounter that can show up on floor 1. Oh, that's one of something almost no one knows, probably, is that the rooms with scripted enemies in them can't show up on floor 1 except for that room in particular that only has a present in it and only one door. Or I think maybe some of the other rooms that only have one door in them. If a room has 2 doors in it and a scripted encounter, it should not show up on floor 1.
Meanwhile, I did see that Thomas picked up a Goddess Band. That is a very good defensive item.
Yeah, and he's going to need some defense, being skipping straight from floor 1 to floor 6. He's got to really be careful about these fights, although that's a good room to find. That's a room with the full heal, 10 to in. It's a slow full heal. You have to get into the hot spring to resurrect your dead characters and then stay at the end to get their psychic points back. But it is a full heal for free, with a phone in the same room.
And you'll definitely take that, because it's important to save as you go in these ancient cave seeds, because if you don't save and you take a death, you're all the way back at the start. Not fun.
Thomas hitting that hitman, so now he knows he is on floor 6. He's going to take a reset out of that fight. That's one of those fights you can't run from, I believe, if that's the right pile of puke enemy. Raikou finds the same skip room that Thomas did. He's going to take the ruler skip. Again, that skip's going to put him on floor 5. So Raikou's skipped onto floor 5, Thomas has skipped onto floor 6. we'll see. Raikou's checking out those vendors. He might do that same thing where he gets the egg and goes and checks that other skip. But I kind of doubt it. That wasn't actually a play I was thinking about. So that could be a difference. I guess we'll find out right now. He buys the wet towel. That's another skip item. He is buying the fresh egg. Yeah, looks like he's going to go do that same skip as well. So he's also going to get on floor 6. Now, of course, there's an interesting situation in which he doesn't immediately know which floors each of these skips go onto. He has the ability to know. He can go to that hitman on both of these skips. But until he does, he doesn't actually know which one of those 2 skips is further ahead. So that's an interesting situation. We'll have to see how he plays it.
Meanwhile, Raikou is getting the full heal by way of the Lilliput Steps memory. Now, there's only one of these full heal spots that does not show up in Ancient Cave, and that is the 7th.
Yeah, the sanctuary for Lumine Hole does not appear in the randomizer. A few B's for RaikouRider's name. Not entirely sure of the significance of that. He is also now exploring floor 6. Interesting.
There's another skip.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he checked what item that person wanted. It's interesting. I'm interested that they both decided to commit to the second skip without checking the hitman. He's going to see it's a 6 right now, so he's certainly going to stay on this skip. 6 being as far forward as you possibly can skip. Lumine Hall doesn't show up because there's a lot of weird things with that room. It has some special programming, and it's best just to leave it alone. So to make sure things don't break, it does not show up in the maze.
Or break any further. Now, unfortunately, Thomas resetting out of that fight because those Ranboob were about ready to cause a party. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's taking a few resets, but he is exploring floor 6 after a skip from 1, so that's somewhat expected. These are going to be difficult fights. And he's in Mole Cave, which has a lot of room to explore. A lot of doors.
A
lot of doors, a lot of presence, but a lot of places for enemies to spawn.
And that buffalo did drop something. Didn't see what it was.
I didn't catch that either.
Because that's another thing worth noting about Ancient Cave Rando, is oftentimes the items that get dropped get shuffled. Like, for example, I'll just throw this one out there. I had a seed last night where I had an enemy, instead of dropping a mummy wrap, drop a Sword of Kings that was shuffled, which, well, yeah, we take those.
Yeah, it's not bad. A rough fight takes out Paula there. But he'll pick up some levels off of it. So we start the process of checking out all the doors of my cave.
Looks like Thomas is going for that full heal and get your PP back.
Yeah, it's a slow full heal, but it's a free full heal. Can't complain too much.
And you take what you get sometimes, and if you don't like it, sometimes you just gotta go with it.
So floor 6 is a big one. I believe the runners have gone different directions. We've seen all sorts of rooms. There's Summers, there's Mole Cave. It's not an easy floor they've skipped into here.
Yeah, the real question for floors that are this big is, but it really is, where's the exit to the 7th floor? Because oftentimes you can get easily tied up for a good 10 to 20 minutes just trying to find the floor's exit.
It's also rough when you've skipped into the middle of it and you don't know where the beginning is.
Yep, done that, gone back to the beginning of that floor, doing that, and it's like, oh, but made the wrong turn.
Now, one of the things about exploring Mole Cave is there is the exit mouse in the middle of Mole Cave, so with some wise use of exit mousing and marking locations and going locations, you can cut off a few minutes from this exploration. Not everyone does that. It doesn't always cross your mind while you're trying to explore a big room, or you might think your menuing isn't fast enough for it, but if you choose to do it, you can definitely save a couple minutes.
Raikou wants no part of that fight. I don't blame him, because that's 4 enemies against 4, and those gators tend to hit hard.
Raikou sees Mole Cave, decides to come back to it later.
Except he's already been that way, so he's going to it, and I think that's the way to go, as Thomas has found the way off the floor, marking it with the exit mouse, as here's the minibar.
Mm-hmm. Pretty easy enemy for floor 6.
The one thing that makes this enemy tough is that its stinky breath causes tears, which ruin your party's accuracy for physical attacks.
Yeah, you definitely want to have enough PP to do anything here. Ooh.
And Thunder does not do very well in single-person fights because it has a high rate of missing.
Yeah, 25%, but if it's your only play, then it's your only play, and Pooh's not worth much otherwise. Just a bash with a 75% chance of missing for 1 damage. Or a freeze for like 12 damage. There we go.
Minibar's been burned.
A little annoying, but not difficult. And Thomas will be off of floor 6 onto floor 7. So here's an interesting little wrinkle. One of the presents in Mole Cave that Thomas did not get to was the only Franklin badge in this seed. So Raikou still being on floor 6, if he explores Mole Cave more thoroughly, he might find that Franklin badge, and that may be a difference in the end game as we go to the Gygas fight. Because we can definitely assume Thomas won't be going back to Mole Cave at this point now that he's on floor 7. Fresh chicken free.
Chicken.
What a loop! Right on the shelf there.
Randomizers tend to do some silly things like that.
That's one of the best loops I've ever seen.
Now, Brick Road has scripted fights that remain intact from the vanilla game. These enemies remain the same, and by the time you get here, you'll be able to beat them easily. Even on floor 1, you'll be able to beat them.
Yep. Really, the only question is, do you take the extra time that it takes to get through the battles to get to the gifts? And that's going to depend on, how well equipped you are, what floor you're on. Here on floor 7, without a lot of equipment, Thomas has decided that he's going to do it. This beach bomb has a lot of HP. Thomas may be regretting getting into this fight rather than taking the run, but he takes it down.
And something tells me that beach bum was hitting the gym or something.
So the Franklin badge is all the way in the lower left present. So we'll see. It doesn't look like Raikou's going to find it either. So could have been a difference depending on how Raikou pathed through the maze, but it looks like it's not going to be. So unless one of them goes back, which I don't expect either of them will, we will have both of our runners having no Franklin badges for this seed. Raikou takes down the floor 6 boss and is also on to floor 7. Again, pretty equivalent right now. The only difference is Raikou's Jeff has a little bit of a better weapon, but at this point, we found some other weapons as well, so there's really no difference there. The only real difference here is Thomas is just a few minutes ahead. Second chicken free.
Chicken. Raikou wanting no part of a second fight against a minibar. That one of the scripted variety.
And here's everyone's favorite room. It's the Lost Underworld. He is going to save. Wasn't sure if he was going to save or not. Sees Lost Underworld, and yeah, we're saving. Yes, that death ray undoes that difference from the weapon, the Spectrum Beam as well, because that's a better weapon than that. So they really are pretty much identically prepared in an identical situation, just Thomas maybe about 2 or 3 minutes ahead. It's waiting for this geyser to refill his HP and PP. He did use pretty much all of his PP on those fights. So it's a reasonable strategy. Just a slow geyser today.
Yep, those geysers, I believe, are an RNG element.
They are, yes. Not the world's best soundtrack here for floor 7, the pokey knocking. Those guys are not stuck. Lost Underworld, of course, difficult because you're moving slowly, but the enemies are moving at normal speed. Really hard to dodge anything, and these are enemies you would really prefer to be dodging.
Oh yeah, because Ness just took a big smash hit and has gone down on Thomas's side.
Jeff's powerful weapon pulls the fight out, but Ness is dead. So Thomas could, if he wanted to, go to the northern geyser and get Ness healed, but that's a long trek and a slow room. I suspect he won't, but we'll have to see. Ooh, don't think you meant to drop that charm coin.
We've all done it if we've played this game, have dropped something that we didn't mean to drop. I think I inadvertently threw away a rabbit's foot when I didn't even mean to in qualifiers. Oh boy, that was not thrilling.
So what happens there if you're not familiar with Earthbound? Normally when you're opening up a menu, you hit down once to get to drop in the equipment menu, but when your character is dead, or sorry, you hit down once to get to give. But when your character is dead, hitting down once gets you to drop. And that's what happened there. Ness was dead, so instead of giving, he ended up dropping. It's just a charm coin, so no true harm done. Secret herbs at the bakery, no money to pay for it, and you can't sell items to the bakery. But the secret herb has a 75% chance to resurrect the character, so if you find some money, you can come back and get Ness back alive. With Ness dead, you cannot defeat any sanctuary bosses, so you can't beat the boss of the floor and move on to the next floor. Ooh, that's an unfortunate red for Raikou.
Yeah, because he just took a second red back to back. This one of the smash attack variety.
Oh, we have explosive graffiti.
That's dangerous. They dropped something too. I didn't see what it was because it
That was a
went by
magic
pretty
tart.
quick.
Magic tart is a pretty good drop.
Yeah, PP recovery items are definitely at a premium, especially endgame.
Yeah, they're just not all that common in Earthbound.
So the Foreside Bakery also had a T-Rex bat for sale, and neither run are having the money for that, but that could change because they found Happy Happy Village. That does have a free stand.
Yep, as soon as Thomas gets out of this Roach fight, I imagine we'll be heading our way over there to see what's at the free stand. Auto fight, Pooh getting off that life up. That's fortunate. Sometimes you just gotta throw it on auto and hope they get off the life up in time. And there it worked out.
Yeah, or sometimes you just throw it on auto and hope you beat the boss. That was the case of the latter. And level ups to boot as well. And Raikou's also in Happy Happy Village. This has gotten real close in the last several minutes.
Yeah, they're only a minute or two apart. What's in our free shop? Nothing.
Not so fast. You've got a couple of weapons you can use. You could sell gold bracelets for money if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Thomas is. Yeah, Thomas realized he should be stocking up on gold bracelets instead of fry pans. He's stocking up on things to sell.
Personally, I'd love to see super bombs or multi-bottle rockets here, but those would be the best free shops. But that's not all. Oh my goodness, this is too good! Like, you can sell those right now and get what you want.
Yep, you can sell those things they just picked up and pick up however many secret herbs they want to spend the time menuing to get. So here's the thing, this is basically unlimited secret herbs, which is really good. The downside is it takes a long time to do it. You have to load up on gold bracelets over there, then come over here, sell all your gold bracelets, buy all your secret herbs. It's the slow Earthbound menuing. And when you're in a race and you don't know where the other person is, you gotta be wondering, how much menuing can I afford to be doing? And you can see they're trying to blaze through these menus.
And Raikou's really fast through his menus as well. Thomas fast as well, so the question is, who's going to come out of this first, and what... Hey, Ness is back in the fight. I'm pretty sure it could be a food order at the door, possibly.
So they could spend all the time they want there leveling or getting secret herbs. The question is, how long is too long, and did you get enough? And only seeing how the game plays out will answer that question.
Oh, we got a place to save as well as some more shops, this time of the Mr. Saturn variety. And we do have bottle rockets, but those do not do a lot of damage. We really want the bigger multi-bottle rockets in that regard.
Yep, nothing in those shops. There was a pizza at some point, right? Oh, it's a large pizza. Does the large pizza work? It does.
Yes, it does. But that would really make me question if I want to do that or not, because
it's an interesting question. You're on 7, so skip could go forward to 9, but it also could go backwards. Oh, this looks like forward, doesn't it?
And that star pendant definitely says forward, because that's either 8 or 9.
Fire and a star pendant, that is forward. So did Raikou get the large pizza?
I believe he did.
So is he going to do the same thing? Because that large pizza, that is the only item that can heal all of your characters. A lot of people will use it in the first round of the Gygas fight to ensure that everyone lives through the Gygas fight. Only one person has to heal. Everyone, gets the life up. It doesn't matter if you take a lethal PSI beta from Gygas. So you have to give up on that large pizza strat to take that skip. So if Raikou sees that skip opportunity, will he take it?
Good
if he
question.
doesn't, he's got to keep going through floor 7.
That's how you know it's floor 9, as that is a psychic psycho. No, that's a major psychic psycho, and it just casts a psychic shield omega that reflects your psychic moves back at you. So yeah, this enemy can get to be really nasty.
Unfortunate timing there, yeah.
Yeah, that's a reset because he was facing a party wipe. Raikou gonna take a different strategy and go through floor 7, so he's not gonna be looking for any more warps. This is a vanilla shroom fight in terms of positioning, but not by floor.
And not by color.
I'd say Shroom's looking a little green around the spores. Good strategy to use the light shield there to reduce damage. Those mushrooms cause confusion, and that does leave a chance of getting attacked either by yourself or attacking one of your party members. And I have died to Shroom because of that in my own time.
In general, Shroom's certainly one of the easier late floor enemies, though. Imagine Thomas is just picking up these gifts that he knows are good before he dives back into that skip. Can't imagine seeing a skip to 9, he's not going to take it again. So that's the thing, since skips must go a minimum of two floors away, now that Raikou's committed to beating the boss on 7 and going into 8, he's not going to find a skip off of 8. He's going to have to go through all of 8 and onto 9, whereas Thomas is going to skip directly onto 9. This could be a big advantage for him.
Now, Raikou's using Magnet to try and get some PP off Shroom to continue the Psychic Attack barrage. Now, Shroom only has X amount of Psychic points and generally casts them for life up, and Magnet will drain anywhere between 2 to 8, random amount.
Diamond Band, Thomas, you gotta go back up for that star pendant, doesn't he? Then he get that and then reset so he doesn't have that star pendant, or am I misremembering? Well, there's another star pendant, so who knows?
Down goes Shroom. And there's Psychic Shield Sigma. It's in the 20s, so our runners won't have to grind up into the 30s for that.
Thomas doing the frustration dance of finding Tucson on floor 9. What a loop!
Yep, there are times where you go through one door in Tucson, you pop out in another part of town. Will be interesting to see what the vendors have here.
Vendors are not scaled by floor, so could be anything. More secret herbs. Good to know. Ooh, Raiko takes the show.
Yeah, and Raiko's taking a show break. I mean, if you want to rest your wrists, this is a good time to do it. I love them Runaway 5 music in this game, by the way.
So we already knew he was going to be a little slower, having to go through floor 8. Hitting the show on floor 8 makes that even worse, unfortunately. Man, there are secret herbs all over this town. And of course, since Raiko is going through floor 8, he's going to hit some more chests, so he may be better equipped than Thomas by the time he gets to floor 9.
Thomas not in a good spot, not really able to get just one Starman on screen, does get one on screen and does get a back attack, so this will help. Let's see what he's able to make of this.
Looks like he wants to take it on and get some levels. Not a bad idea.
It is.
Certainly underleveled for floor 9.
This is one part of the game you don't want to be underleveled.
And of course, Starman you can pretty reliably get a green from if you just wait for them to stop teleporting and hit them from the bottom or the side. So the fights are pretty safe as long as you can do enough damage. Wonder how Raiku's doing with his controller. He's had that mushroom on his head long enough, he's probably had to turn his controller around in his hand.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about the mushrooms. After a while, that mushroom's going to mess with your movement, which, yeah, it's going to be a 90-degree turn. So you can either make that turn in your brain, or you can just turn the controller.
Yep, there it just happened. You can tell he just ran into a wall and stopped for a bit.
Now, Thomas did find a goddess ribbon. I do believe that is Paula's ultimate ribbon.
Another Starman, another green, another leveling opportunity.
And Ness finishes it with a smash.
Raiko finds an Auto Star Master here on floor 8. That's interesting. He's going to use it. He'll know Starstorm Alpha. That means when he fights Master Barf on this floor, he'll know Starstorm Omega. Meanwhile, Thomas, assuming he doesn't find an Auto Star Master on floor 9, he won't have any Starstorms. So that could be a difference going into the Gygas fight.
Absolutely. Starstorm is the one PSI move in this game that is absolutely impossible to avoid. The only way to stop it is with a Psychic Shield. And it's a guaranteed about 360 damage, give or take. There is a range.
So that'll help Raiko when just encountering random enemies on floor 9. It'll also help against Gygas Phase 2. You can fire off Starstorm Omega if you have the psychic points for that and do something like 700 or 800 damage, get through Phase 2 real quick. So that difference could come into play as Raiko gets to floor 9, but he's got to get there first. Right now, he's still on floor 8 with the mushroom on his head.
Yeah, the only way to really get rid of that is you have to find a shining spot, well, rather one of your sanctuaries, or one of the healers can buy it off you for $50, which isn't a lot of money, but then again, this is a condition that only appears really in the earlier parts of the game.
Man, that mushroom. I think that was the eraser skip room, which he doesn't need. Both he doesn't have the eraser and he doesn't need to take any skips.
Meanwhile, we've got a Mook Senior.
Oof.
These things can be deadly because they use a lot of PSI magic and they can diamond eyes, so they're quite dangerous. If you're underleveled, turn 1 hypnosis, turn 2 run away. Just for survival's sake.
Tucson has so many doors. We are slowly checking all of them. Ooh, getting past that smiling sphere.
19 to be precise, and when they loop, that number goes down.
DX shop selling bottle of DX water. This is pretty big. Pooh will have essentially unlimited psychic points in the Gygus fight. Each of these restore 40 psychic points. They're cheap. You can load up on them. So this is a pretty big find. Makes Pooh much more useful in the Gygus fight when he can't run out of psychic points. If Raikou finds it, it's going to be really big because he can feel free to unleash those Starstorm Omegas.
Found a sea pendant and a legendary bat. The latter of that is really good offense from us.
No.
One of the best in the game.
He dropped it.
Oh, no. You just hate to see that happen.
Oh, the death accidental drop hits both of our runners this seed. Brutal. Oh, that's unfortunate. He's already got to be so annoyed with his controller switching around on him constantly, and then to do that.
The one comparison I can draw to from any other game would be Zelda 1 Randomizer when the bubble curse is set to inverted controls.
So I believe, I wasn't watching too closely, but Thomas just did a save and reset, and I believe the reason he did that, did he call mock pizza?
Yes.
Right, so that's a little trick to make the mock pizza timer a lot shorter. Once you call them, just save and reset, reload the game.
Speaking of reset.
And it cuts multiple minutes off the mock pizza timer.
It's worth noting as you get into these later floors, there is a non-zero chance that some enemies could be carrying either a psychic shield, a power shield, a light shield, or sometimes a psychic power shield. And in that instance, your psychic attacks are basically useless unless you nullify it with a shield killer, a neutralizer, or PK Thunder.
Well, here's the floor 8 boss. That didn't take too long. And there's another sea pendant.
Yeah, if you don't find star pendants, sea pendants are your second best bet.
So Raikou with 2 sea pendants as he goes up against the floor 8 boss. This shouldn't be too difficult of a fight, and he'll have Starstorm Omega at the end of it.
Worth noting that Master Belch as well as Master Barf are both capable of inflicting the nausea status condition. And down goes Master Barf.
I was going to take a reset since Ness died and he went to the end of a walk and didn't find anything. Just wondering where that pizza is. It should show up, don't worry.
I was about to say, didn't he? He could drop the line of, I ordered this 3 hours ago.
There's some interesting things in the pizza logic. I'll say that much. Ooh, this might be a rough fight.
Yeah, it is, because we got a Starman, Starman Super, and an atomic-powered robot. Not a fun combination, especially knowing that the atomic and nuclear powered robots both explode in the vanilla game.
It's gonna fight it out.
Speaking of fighting it out, Raikou's finding himself against two mooks. I believe these are lesser mooks, as the other ones that show up with the Starmen are mook seniors. I got that wrong earlier, my mistake.
This auto fight is not going to work. I can just tell you that right now. The amount of damage he's doing, the amount of life ups that guy does. If you're only putting out around 220 damage around with all of your characters like he was doing, you cannot auto fight that guy.
Yeah. Here's another dangerous enemy in the uncontrollable sphere, capable of casting fire and vanilla game. They explode.
Yeah, and these fires are taking a long time. It's making the auto fight not work out so well. So he wins, but 2 characters down. Just a lot of enemies down this path. There's that pizza.
Yep, there's that pizza. And, uh-oh, that's a bad path.
Some unfortunate cursoring there. Most really wants to see if there's anything useful down here. There's one door all the way down here. If it doesn't go anywhere useful, he's going to reset.
That's an ATM, though, which could come in handy, even though that's a little bit too far away for my taste.
Yeah, he's taking 2 deaths. He's going to have to walk back through this. I imagine he gets going into a fight and reset. Maybe not.
Raikou's staying in the hotel. Now, the reason fire's not doing so much damage to either Paula or Jeff is because of the pendants they've equipped. Unfortunately, Thunder still does devastating damage unless you have the Franklin badge. And that's going to be a party wipe.
He's going to take the death or reset. He has gained some levels. If he can get to that full heal.
With both runners on the final floor, the question is who finds Gygas first? That'll be a decided advantage heading into the final battle. And we've got, this looks promising as that's a criminal caterpillar or master criminal worm.
Thomas is trying to remember where that full heal was. There it is.
Yeah, it's easy to forget stuff in a randomizer like this. Speaking of full heals, there is a good night bench on this floor, which will get your party's BP back. Ooh, that's an unfortunate back-to-back, especially since these are final area enemies. And Ness can't seem to get away this time. RNG is just not cooperating with Raikou at all.
Yeah, those Octobots are usually pretty fast. So that's going to hurt your runaway chances. So
And
Thomas still exploring Tucson.
While Raikou comes up with a Bracer of Kings, that is one of Pooh's equipable weapons that actually work with his defense. Yeah, that is a no-bout right away. That is Ghost of Starman, who on first turn casts Starstorm. Then in 5 turns later, we'll cast Starstorm Omega, rinse and repeat the cycle. Dangerous enemy to go against, even in the vanilla game, and that Horn of Life could not have come at a better time as Jeff is back in the fight.
He's just gonna life up everyone. So Thomas has found the back end, or the beginning of floor 9. Gonna take another reset, because finding the beginning of floor 9 doesn't really help. We're still in Tucson. It's been so long. He's going in the hospital now. It's another phone, 2 doors.
Well, Raikou finds a bag of Dragonite. That can be a very good thing to find.
Yeah, nice, easy, few hundred damage.
Ooh, we got a multi-bottle rocket. The only question is, will it work against Corky? Because sometimes they don't work.
Yeah, it'll depend on your speed versus his speed, and of course, his speed is one of the randomized things. But without the Crystal Charm or the Rabbit's Foot to increase Jeff's speed, usually you have so low speed that all 20 of the bottle rockets miss.
Another star pendant.
Yep, 3 good pendants now for Raikou. Certainly nice. Makes phase 2 and 3 Gygas pretty easy.
Speak of the devil, Raikou's found the path, so at the 51-minute mark, he is approaching Gygas.
Goes ahead and marks it with his mouse. He's going to look at his equipment and see if he's ready to go.
Meanwhile, Thomas runs into a master criminal worm. These things are in Scaraba in the vanilla game, and they give a humongous amount of experience.
Yeah, not always in randomizer, though.
Yeah, randomizer not so much, but in the vanilla game, the experience they give out makes running them down worth it.
So Raikou got away with checking a whole lot less of Tucson than Thomas did. I think Thomas really only has the 1 door left to go, and the 1 path that leads to Gygas left to go. Whereas Thomas checked, I think, every single door in Tucson. Pretty sure the hospital was the last door that he checked. Alright, phase 1, Gygas.
Starting the Rockin' Alpha, that's always a good sign. That means you can recover your HP after this turn and not worry too much about it. Paralysis works, and the multi-bottle rocket fails.
Yep, as expected there, without anything on it. Oh, which direction is Thomas going now? He came this way. Did he not remember the other way to go through the hospital?
And that could happen to just about anybody, as I know I have forgotten for so many times. I've gotten myself lost for like 10, 20 minutes so easily. Meanwhile, Raikou is going for a Brain Shock strat on Gygas. Now, this is interesting because if Rockin' fires off at Gygas' side, it will reflect off the boss and hit a kid at random.
Yeah, it's a thing you can do. It will mean that half of the time Gygas fires at himself, so 1 of the Rockins will reflect back onto a kid. So only 1 kid gets hit by Rockin' instead of all 4, 50% of the time. it means your shields run out less quickly. If Paula doesn't have any psychic points, but Pooh has a lot, it's a strategy. So that Paula doesn't have to fire off PSI Shield Sigma so often. I'm not sure that in this situation it's worth it. Paula has 85 psychic points. You know, you've got fairly good offense going on with both freezes on Paula and Pooh. I'm not sure that this is worth it. I think it'd probably just be faster to just proceed normally. But it's certainly a strategy, and maybe I haven't watched a lot of Raikou's run. It's something he does all the time. All right, Thomas is back at the right save now.
Unfortunately, Raikou not able to get life up off, and I hope Jeff didn't have prey, because otherwise that could be a problem.
No, this, yeah, Jeff's the prey character. And he does not...
So that's a reset, straight up.
Yeah, he used that Horn of Life that he found in the sewer earlier on Jeff. So he didn't have any heals left, and I guess he didn't have enough secret herbs. I guess he had run out from secret herb shopping time.
I believe so. So that is definitely a reset. Plus, Pooh not knowing healing Gamma means he's not able to revive him, so Thomas still has a chance. He's still in this. It ain't over till the dot done, folks.
All right, I'm trying... I think Thomas has missed the door with Gygus. I know he got to North Onnet, and the correct direction there is going up the hill to Liar Exaggerate's house.
And a quick reset from Thomas. Can't blame him there with that formation, because Psychic Psycho and Major Psychic Psycho can be very time-consuming to go against.
I think he must have... So it's just to the right here. Yeah, he's forgotten to go up the hill to Liar Exaggerate's house. He's forgotten that he has not checked that direction yet. Because that's the other way from here. Or no, it is this way.
Yeah, it is this way, and they're both on the path. What's slowing Raikou down now is enemy spawn RNG. He is not able to get a favorable spawn to get by a runner's high five as Thomas pulls slightly ahead with the better RNG. Some of those fires are running away from Raikou, though. Went for a green swirl, didn't get it. And that is a nasty combination because Evil Eye casts Brain Shock and Paralysis. Not fun stuff to go against.
Thomas trying to get set up for Gygus. He knows it's not far away. You can tell from these enemy spawns. Alright, he's in the last room before Gygus. Raikou taking a lot more fights on the hill.
Yeah, he's gotten much significantly worse luck in the enemy RNG department.
Just going to take down this mole, get the star pendant back here. That'll make 2 star pendants for him, I believe.
As well as a couple of levels.
See who equips it. I would suggest Ness, yes.
And Raikou's just going to straight up reset. Cannot fault him for that because he was just unable to get away from that mess.
You gotta put in something, Thomas. 0-2, his record in the 2019 tournament. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark the mouse. If you mark the mouse on the ladder, is that safe? I don't know. I guess we might find out, huh? Oh boy.
No idea. Raikou trying to get through these enemy spawns. As for Thomas, about to approach the Gygus fight, Raikou getting a back attack and gets past that one particular spawn.
Should probably use one of these DX waters on Pooh before the fight. Looks like he's not going to.
Raikou taking all the back attacks that he can. Much more favorable spawn this time, as it is going to come down to the Gygus fight, folks. Buckle up. This finish is gonna be hot.
Large pizza strats. We spent a lot of time getting that large pizza. We might as well use it. The beta.
It's gonna come in handy here because of the beta.
Yep, everyone would have died as long as he can get off in time. Yep, he did. So Pooh's going to be at 6 HP. Everyone else should be at a healthy amount. 7 HP, sure.
Raikou taking one last second to look over things. Steps back into the fight. It's round 2 for him. Thomas already in phase 1. It all comes down to this, folks.
Looks like he's going to go ahead and let Jeff die in phase 1, because Jeff's not doing a terrible lot. Presumably going to resurrect him in phase 2.
As long as he has a means to resurrect him in phase 2, he'll be okay.
I believe he still has plenty of secret herbs. Raikou apparently did not. Either that or he didn't remember them. Raikou takes a beta this time. And he does not have... he also took large pizza strats. So he's also going to keep his team alive. Pooh taking a death here is not good.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of offense for phase 2 loss, and you lose brain shock strats.
And there's really no good time to resurrect someone in phase 1 because you can't resurrect them without them having a turn open to get hit by Gygus. PSI Beta, or PSI Rockin'. So you really don't want to lose Pooh in phase 1.
Raikou lost Jeff again, resetting for a second time. Meanwhile, Thomas, still with secret herbs in play, is still not out of the woods yet. That could be the difference.
Yeah, that was questionable menuing there. Don't need to use an Omega. Yeah, that's not going to be it.
Yeah, it's going to be
losing Pooh there was
reset.
Too much.
Both runners reset there. It'll be interesting to see how our runners adjust. For Raikou, he's opting to take this single enemy on to get more experience. And hopefully that'll make a difference, because these Soul Flames can beat them with freeze easily. Now, speaking of phase 1 resets, I had one last night, but it was late, so instead I had to mercy kill. But hey, it happens. It's rain.
It's unfortunate the closest phone is so far away. It's making these Gygus deaths really punishing.
Yeah, what's even more punishing is the full heal is even farther away than that.
Right, in theory, Thomas marked a mouse, so he could have, instead of resetting, he could have just taken the death, found a full heal, and then used the mouse, but that doesn't save a whole lot more time.
No, it doesn't. By the way, that experience gain from Criminal Caterpillar was over 9,000. Raikou picking up the Cloak of King.
So rough seed, both of our runners having taken Gygas deaths, they have to wonder if they're giving their opponent the time to catch up. It's probably might be leading to panic setting in.
Possibly, because for both runners, they're both very good runners of this randomizer. So they've got to be wondering, why have I not seen the dot done on SRTV?
Gonna redo this menuing. So it was done after the last save. Nice green.
Not exactly sure where Raikou's going at the moment.
Yeah. Don't know what his plan is. Got halfway down the stairs and decided to turn back.
Ah, I see. He's going for the full heal.
So is he going to get this star pendant? Yeah, he will.
I don't believe any of these vendors had super bombs, so if that's what he's looking for, he's going to be out of luck.
Yeah, he just must not feel prepared for the Gygas. I mean, that is 2 deaths for him, right? So it's can certainly make you feel like you need more. Let's see if Thomas uses the DX water this time before the fight. Suppose psychic points are low. There's no reason not to use the DX water here.
So does that mean this is second verse?
Apparently.
See, that's one of the things you can really have fun with, is the name the player. And that's one of the things I like about Earthbound, is the ways that it just takes the fourth wall and just breaks it into pieces.
All right, Thomas. Use a bottle of DX water now. Come on.
Yeah, don't use it on Ness.
No, you don't want to give Ness the pizza. There we go. All right. Give Jeff back that pizza.
Wait, I see what Raikou did. He's going back for a whole ton of secret herbs.
Like, Thomas is overthinking this. He's moved the pizza off of Jeff onto Ness. That's not correct. I think he's thinking he wants to try that multi-bottle rocket in the first round, but without a speed boost, it's in all likelihood going to miss everyone. Yeah, see, now Ness can't do the paralyze on the first turn. This is not worth the chance for the for multi-bottle, unless he got a rabbit's foot that I didn't see.
Yeah, I don't believe I saw any rabbit's foot from anyone. Raikou has saved with the secret herbs. While that's going on, Thomas is back in the Gygus fight.
Yes.
Bit of a risk reward here.
Yeah, he overthought himself on that one. Should have just stuck with the same plan as last time. Because now he didn't even get the chance to paralyze Pokey turn 1. We get the paralyze on the turn 2, though. I don't agree with resurrecting Jeff right now. It doesn't do anything.
Unless Jeff has all the bottles of deluxe water.
He has quite a few, but he could get through this fight without them.
Meanwhile, Raikou finds a Wetnosaur in Northern Onett, has no interest in fighting that thing. Can't blame him because that's a hard-hitting enemy and it doesn't have any rare drops, unlike the Chompasaur.
Yeah, see, this is exactly what happens here. You just wasted that secret herb. We've wasted 2 turns. Should just get through phase 1. Then worry about getting Jeff back.
Oh yeah, that's what I would do here at this point. Meanwhile, Raikou back in the Gygus room. Raikou starting his 3rd attempt against Gygus.
He has more secret herbs this time, so Jeff dying doesn't mean a reset now for him. He can be in the same situation where Thomas is. If Jeff dies in round 1, he can still make things happen.
There is one big difference, though. Thomas does not have the Auto Star Master and did not beat Master Barf on floor 8, so does not have any access to Starstorm whatsoever.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Thomas being forced to use PK Magnet strats to get PP off the enemies. Meanwhile, out of phase 1, now we'll see what the plan is for phase 2 as Ness goes down on Raikou's sides. And, oh god, Porky just admits to being that one dude in Tucson who confesses to ripping one in the concert hall. God. But those are the kind of lines we expect from Earthbound.
Thomas is really unsure of his menuing here.
Also, this is where those Bag of Dragonite come in handy, as they tend to do a considerable amount of damage.
This is going to be a slow phase 2, so I would brain shock here.
Yeah, absolutely. And as long as you're not doing physical attacks, that brain shock will remain throughout the phase. Meanwhile, Raikou in a bit of a pickle with 2 party members left. This is not good.
Yeah, and again, Ness does not put out a lot of damage on Pokey, and Paula has to take off her turns to put on shields. I appreciate his alternate strategy with the brain shock on phase 1. I just don't think it pays off over just the normal strategy of paralyze Pokey, put up your shields every 3 turns.
So here's the good news, bad news. Raikou's out of phase 1. Bad news is only Paula remains.
So the auto fight was an unfortunate choice because it bashed Gygas and knocked him out of brain shock. He would have been better off having Ness life upping Pooh and just defending with everyone else that turn. Would have had enough time to get that off. All right, Raikou is trying here. He's got the secret herbs, but he cannot keep kids alive. He can do this. He's got C pendants and star pendants on everyone. Well, I thought he had them on everyone, but he apparently does not have them on Pooh, because Pooh just took a ton of damage from that freeze.
Even so, that was a guts save.
Yep.
And what those are is when you take a mortal blow, sometimes your character survives with 1 HP. That is due to the character's guts stat known as a guts save.
All right. Thomas is into phase 3. He has psychic points on Pooh to do a brain shock once Gygas gets past the first prayer. He has Ness alive. He should probably have had Ness lifed up himself. He does the brain shock turn 1. This is going to go away, so he'll need to re-brain shock because the brain shock status effect on phase 3 Gygas wears off after prayer 1. Raikou's panicking. Yeah, I would say both of our runners have panicked in this Gygas fight, but they're making it. They're getting there. It's working.
Raikou gets off Starstorm Omega for 716 damage. That's a lot of damage for one move. And at 42 psychic points, I'd say it's worth it in this situation.
Jeff takes a turn. He's auto-fighting to try and keep Pooh alive, and that is the wrong choice. He just had Gygas brain shocked. The auto-fight is going to undo that brain shock, and it's not enough to keep Pooh alive. So, we've taken a couple turns off praying to try and get Gygas alive and give Pooh some psychic points, and that was useless, as it turns out. Like I said, they're panicking a bit. They've taken a Gygas fight. They're worried about the time. They're worried about the other people. They're panicking. But they've got the resources. They know how to play this game, and they're getting it done.
Speaking of getting it done, Raikou's into phase 3. This is the prayer phase, where right now the one advantage that Thomas has is not having Pooh active at the moment saves time on menuing throughout the fight, so that is a slight advantage that saves only a handful of seconds, but that could be the difference between a win and a loss here.
Yeah, they're close. Thomas is firing up a life up beta every turn on Jeff.
That makes sense, especially when the thunder rolls like that.
Yeah, that was a thunder for 151. That puts Jeff actually at 10 HP. He would be in range, or 15. He's pretty close to in range. He could actually take damage even with the star pendant. 2 freezes could have killed him from there. So that life up beta is going to come in handy. Paula feeds herself a cookie.
Well, you never know. Sometimes those low HP items can be all the difference.
Raikou's taking a couple turns here in phase 3 to fire off freeze Alpha's Gygas with Paula. She can't do much else. and he's hoping to get a solidify off of those freezes to basically give himself an empty turn. It's a strategy. If you're worried about the Thunder taking out Jeff, it does cost you a little bit of time. He's also reviving Pooh. I guess his Gygus isn't confused, so he's probably going to try and get off the brain shock.
Meanwhile, Thomas in the final phase.
It's close.
All comes down to this. Thomas is 2 prayers away from winning round 1.
Ooh, 2 Thunders, both hits, but only one connects with Jeff. Luckily, Ness had the exact right speed that even if both of those Thunders had connected with Jeff, he still would have saved. The speed worked out perfectly for him there.
Who goes down again for Raikou? Meanwhile,
And
Thomas is on the final turn. That is time. Thomas wins an absolute barn burner. Get your GGs in. That was a thrilling finish as Thomas finishes with an official SR TV time of 1 hour, 19 minutes, 19 seconds.
Congratulations to Thomas on his quarterfinal win. Raikou not going to be far behind. As long as nothing goes too poorly on this final prayer, he could get the double lightning. His healers are both dead.
No,
he gets to solidify.
Solidify. That
gets one more chance.
That's just rough luck. Now that's fire.
Okay, so we should be good. Nothing should be able to stop this final prayer from Raikou. Team Rocket.
Yeah, and it's Team Rocket at the end. I appreciate this. And that is time for RaikouRider, who finishes up with an official SRTV time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, 27 seconds. Get your GGs in chat. This race came right down to the wire.
Yep, that was, what, 1 minute and change?
1:08 by my math.
With Gygus deaths on both sides. So it wasn't even just the Gygus deaths, it was the minuing in that last fight. Both of those last fights were very, we'll call them unconventional Gygus fights. So some of those unconventional decisions both of them made are going to be the difference.
Sometimes it doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be conventional, it just has to be effective to get the job done.
Yeah, that's the truth. Here's Raikou. Hello.
So how many times did Tom try before succeeding? Because I tried a couple of times at like the 50-minute mark and just couldn't get it done.
You had 2 Gygus deaths, Thomas had 1. He skipped from 7 onto 9, so he got onto 9 a lot faster than you did. But then he explored, I believe, every single door in Tucson before he found the right path.
No, finding the right path wasn't a huge deal for me. It was just I didn't have a way to protect Jeff. And then when I found the secret herb vendor in Tucson after trying Gygus 2 times, I was like, that's exactly what I was trying to find.
Yeah, I was wondering, because there was the secret herb vendor in Happy Village right next to the free shop, and I was wondering if the amount of secret herbs that you each stocked up on would make the difference. And it kind of did. Thomas still had secret herbs from stocking up there.
I didn't even, because I didn't think about that. I was kind of...
Oh, did you not get those? Okay.
I was kind of banking on healing Gamma. I just found that vendor next to Village, and I'm like, oh hey, I can launder like $27,000 here, and
right, yeah, that vendor also sold.
Vendor.
Yeah, that vendor also sold secret herbs, and Thomas loaded up on secret herbs there.
Yeah, that was smart, and I didn't think of it until after I had died twice, because I was actually gonna level grind for healing Gamma, and then I'm like, wait. There's these vendors that I never checked. These might have like super bombs or something that'll help me with this fight, because it was just all about getting through phase 1. since you had so much defense. I think there were like 6 good pendants available.
There were 6. There were 3 star pendants, 3 sea pendants, and 2 earth pendants in this seed.
I found all of the good pendants, all of them.
Well, only a minute 8 apart. That was with Gygas deaths on both sides. You both had some pretty crazy Gygas fights that you succeeded on as well. So congratulations to both of you. It was quite a fun race. Everyone really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I imagine. So I'm guessing both of us found 1 to 6 because that was a pretty easy skip to find.
Yep. You both found 1 to 6. Well, we talked about it. It's actually, there's a question there. Like, are you going to give up that large pizza and give up possibly your opportunity for large pizza strats to check out this skip when you already have a skip right next to you? But that other skip went to 5.
The large pizza.
The large pizza skip went to 6.
No, the large pizza I actually held on to just because that lets you do a little bit riskier stuff in the first phase. I actually should have given that large pizza to a different character because just because of the way Gygas 1 worked, and I just didn't think to hand the large pizza over because since you had no ammunition whatsoever in this seed, it would have been better to give the large pizza to Jeff because he's kind of a dead weight in Poke phase.
Yep, that's very true.
But yeah, GG, man, that was so close.
Oof.
Congratulations, Thomas.
GG, Thomas. Holy smokes, that was a barn burner.
I did a bunch of dumbs. It's fine. It's fine. I got lost. My palms are... My whole hand is cramping now. I had to get water in the middle of the fight. It's fine.
Well, you got there.
We got there. It's fine.
Congratulations. No 0-2 this year.
I know. Sorry to disappoint.
I'm ready to go 0-2 this year.
Not so fast, Raiko, because I lose to the defending champion, then it's you and me. And you probably win that matchup. Let's be honest.
I disagree. You've gotten a lot better.
I don't know. Last night was a rough practice night. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I need to play that seed. Didn't you give me a seed the other day? I still need to play that.
Yeah, I think I sent one late last night.
I don't know. When I saw the skip to 6, and then like Gygas was relatively easy to find in 9, I was thinking that I was behind, and the only way that I was going to win that race is if I pull off something really, just really silly.
Like I say, it was easy to find for you. Thomas spent about 20 minutes going through the entirety of Tucson before he died.
What I wanted to do was I wanted to initially set up an exit mouse at the Gygas fight and then run back to the phone, but I wasn't sure I had time to do that.
Yeah, that would be risky. So we've had 2 really good quarterfinals so far. Tune in tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern for our 3rd quarterfinal. That's Temple versus Nerm, right here on the same channel. And then on Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll have Aurelix versus Leslie.
Yep, that's gonna be an interesting one to say the least because, well, it's the defending champion. I just have to go out there, do my best, and whatever happens, happens. I mean, Randomizer, as we all know, can do some real crazy stuff. And with Randomizer, it gets to the point with these games where just about anybody can beat anybody. So who knows what's going to happen?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just look at this race was a coin flip to begin with.
Mm-hmm. It definitely was, and it turned into a heck of a finish. Definitely one worth watching back.
All you gotta do is win. All right, congratulations again to Thomas and Raikou on an excellent race, and we will see everyone back here tomorrow night for Temple versus Nerm. Good night from me and from all you guys. If you want to say goodbye.
All right, GG, guys. Take care. For my first time doing commentary for Earthbound Ancient Cave, wow, that was a heck of a race. GG to the runners and give them a follow. They're the stars of the show.
All right, we'll see you all tomorrow. Good night.